This is the second form of enhanced for loop, and it's called the enhanced for loop with iterator. Now it looks just the same as the previous thing, only this time expression is not an array. Instead of being an array, it's got to be a type which implements the interface iterable. Now the interface iterable defines just one method, which is called iterator, and that returns a value of type iterator. And iterator is actually yet another interface which has got three methods in it, and this is what the two interfaces look like. There's iterator, which returns something of type iterator, and here is that interface there, which has got two important things in it. It's got has next and next. Now these things, as you probably noticed, are generic interfaces, because they've got this thing like E like that in them. And I do try not to discuss things, bring up things I haven't discussed yet. That's why I left this until after I'd done labels, because labels were involved with arrays, enhanced for loops with arrays. And however, I really have to introduce this now. Now these generic interfaces, now they're generic, but that means that when you use it or declare something of that type, you have to pass something for E, and this thing that you pass for E is a type. So it's rather than passing like parameters, you're passing types in, and it can be any type that you pass in, and it's all done in fact by the compiler at compile time. So in fact it doesn't have any overhead at all at runtime. So this is all kind of compile time thing. Now oh, I should mention this, yes. This last entry down here, the remove, it's optional. It's not necessary for the iterator to actually implement anything for that, but these other two it certainly is. And you can see that what you've got here, if you've got an iterator, you have everything that you need to go through a list of values in sequence. You've got this thing to take whether you've got next, and you've got a next one, and this thing to get the next one. And of course that will be the type of it that you can specify, and so on. I don't really want to go too much into generics, because we'll cover those in detail later. But that's how it's done. Okay, now I'll go and give an example. That'll make things a bit clearer. Well, before I give you an example, let me just show you what that turns into. Here's what the statement looks like, something like that, where that yields an iterator, and it becomes this, where I is the type of expression dot iterator. Okay, so that extracts an iterator from the expression there, and if there's anything in there, if has next is true, then it goes through this, each time setting this type identifier thing there to the next item. So it's well, fairly straightforward. Again, that iHash thing is a unique compiler generated identifier. So this time we don't have to worry about any labels. Any labels there can just be there, because we're not putting anything in front of them, doing anything like that like we were for arrays. And I should mention, the final, its optional final thing is again applicable because this is a declaration that's taking place there. So if the identifier doesn't change in any of these statements, then you might as well make it final. Alright, here's the example. It's just going to iterate through an array list of strings. Right, as you can see, these are generic types. They're from the collections, Java collections classes. And what this is a list of some particular type is an interface, and this is a concrete class that implements that interface. And array list is a particular class which is generic, and you can use it to construct lists of various types, any sort of type you want that you specify there. In this case it's string. It's got some advantages because it's got an add thing that enables you to add stuff in, and because it's generic you can only add in things of the type that you've specified. It's all checked by the compiler at compile time. I don't want to say too much about it because this is all generics and we'll come to it later. It's unfortunate I could construct an example which didn't use generics and used iterator, but it wouldn't be of much use because when this facility is used, it's almost always with generic classes like this. Okay, so here's the example anyway. All it's going to do is get the iterator out of there, obviously, and iterate through this list that's been added and print them out. And there's the output, which is what you'd expect really.